Hi guys. Okay. Wow. Every time I record a video, I forget. We'll start again. No, this is like just perfect. I'll just go from here only. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing great. And now I just need to check if the fan is working properly. अगर fan की वजह से आवाज़ आ रही है तो let me see. Also यहाँ फिर से construction हो रही है. Which apparently only happens when I'm recording a video. So let me just check once. So I get a lot of questions almost मेरी हर वीडियो पे just काम वाली से रिलेटेड वीडियो नहीं बट हर वीडियो पे ये वाले कमेंट्स आते हैं कि आई हैव परस्यूड अ डिप्लोमा एंड आई वांट टू गो अहेड एंड परस्यू दिस एज एन इंटर्नशिप और अ फुल टाइम जॉब हाउ कैन आई डू इट आप पूरे दिन में क्या करते हो आई थिंक आई गॉट दिस फीडबैक फ्रॉम माई I got this feedback for my दुकान वाला वीडियो which is almost at 25K so thank you so much for that. उस पर ये आया था कि आपने ये तो दिखा दिया कि what you do when you go to office but you haven't shared the tasks that you do in a single day. Now there's an update. I'm no longer working with Dukaan. I stopped working with them last year and after that I shifted back to my hometown in Delhi and I've been working for another company which is in the media space. So right now I'm working as a social media manager. At Dukaan I was working as a campaign manager. So now that I've changed my switched my jobs, how this job role is different from the previous role that I had at Dukaan was is that there I was doing mostly paid promotions, ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, making funnels, conversion funnels, driving sales and leads for the merchants that we had on our platform. Right now when I'm working as a social media manager, my job role is entirely different from what I did at Dukaan. As of now I'm going to list all the tasks that I do on a regular basis. Today is a Friday, so today I usually have a review with the founders and the management and that's why I thought sorry for that. Sorry. That's like a very bad habit that I have. Usually I do this a lot in the meetings. Anyway, coming back to the context of the video. So, यहाँ पर मैं क्या करती हूँ and how it is different from Dukaan is यहाँ पर I handle a lot of organic content that we do and my primary role in this organization is to generate a lot of content for social media platforms. I have a team for that. Unlike my previous roles where I had just started with digital marketing, I used to be very involved in operational and execution work. But right now, because I've worked for a few years, now I'm working with a team and I have some amazing members. So right now I'm working on a few platforms with my team to generate content and reach out to the right target audience for our company. So right now we're working on Facebook, we're working on Twitter, we're working on Instagram, we're working on YouTube, we're working on Snapchat, we're working on LinkedIn, and we're still trying to move to different platforms. Like we're also present on Josh. So we're just trying to explore more and more platforms, optimize the current platforms that we're currently working on. And that's primarily what I do. Other than this, I'm also involved in a lot of campaigns which are not directly related to social media, but again every campaign that takes place in the organization has to be promoted on social media. So a lot of them are impact campaigns, a lot of awards that we have done from our end, because this company that I'm currently working in, it's mostly in the space of social impact, sustainability, innovation, and so on. So they promote a lot of organizations which are in the same space and push them to do more of that work. And that's why I joined this organization, because while I was working at Dukaan, I was really happy with my role. And I was also studying back in Manipal then. So it was getting very hectic managing Manipal. I had exams, I had my final exams and managing my role at Dukaan. Again, I thought after working with Ankur in social media, and I'd previously also worked in social media and performance marketing, SEO, all the I've tried all different kinds of roles when it comes to exploring what I wanted to do. Now that I've worked for a few years, I thought, I'm so sorry about the noise actually, I can't help it. Every time I record a video, this is what happens, and this is mostly why I don't record videos at home. Yeah, so so basically while I was working with Ankur and before that, I realized social media is something I'm more inclined towards than ads. Right now I'm also managing the ads for this organization. But again, that's just a part of my role. It's not everything that I do. I'm also looking at the organic social media management or organic content on the platforms, and again with that ads. And I also work with the brand team, so I help them with the content that we generate for brand and the paid promotion that we do for brands. So that's overall what my role looks like. I am pretty sure that I'm forgetting a lot of things which I have to mention here. So if I do, I will mention it somewhere on the screen. A lot of questions were also related to what tools I use. So back when I was in Dukan, I was using only Facebook Ads Manager or Business Manager, and Google Ads as a platform where we used to do Google Ads. Also used to run YouTube ads through the Google Ads dashboard. And other than that, we used to use some tools for managing and looking and tracking at the inventory. So we used to use Microsoft Excel, we used to use Tableau. So I will link all the tools that I had to learn or I had already learned at my previous jobs to get that role at Dukan. But today's video is mostly going to be about what my day looks like. Now I'm at home. And I'm not sure how this video will pan out because I'm like very conscious and anxious when I'm at home and recording. So right now I have certain tasks that I need to list to start my day. I will start with that and then have my breakfast and move on to the meeting that we have with the founders. Usually those meetings are to discuss the numbers, the overall numbers for the week, and discuss what our future plan is for the next week and the next month, so that we know what we're going to do in the coming months and how we can change our strategy according to what's working for our social media and what is not working for our social media and so on. So I'll see you. Bye bye. Hi everyone, good morning. I'm back. Also I've noticed कि जब मैं वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर रही हूँ तो पीछे से कंस्ट्रक्शन की साउंड भी आएगी. एंड यूजुअली व्हेन आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग वीडियोस व्हिच आर नॉट वर्क रिलेटेड, आई स्विच ऑफ द फैन. और एसी में वैसे भी यूज़ नहीं करती हूँ, तो उसकी वजह से जो साउंड है वो बहुत ही क्लियर आती है, अनलेस देयर इज अ कंस्ट्रक्शन गोइंग ऑन विच इज़ वेरी नॉर्मल अराउंड वेयर आई लिव. So I'm so sorry about that, but पंखे का थोड़ी बहुत आवाज़ है. It's not affecting my actual voice. And I've decided once I reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will be going ahead and buying a mic. So I think मैंने आपको सुबह बता दिया कि हमें क्या क्या करना है. उसके बाद मैंने अपना जो टीम के साथ है वो शेयर किया कि हाउ वी आर सपोज टू गो हेड एंड डिस्कस द टास्क दैट वी नीड टू डू ओवर द वीकेंड. Weekends are one of the most important days for social media and paid promotions as well. The most active users that use platforms, especially from the range of 21 to 34, because they're mostly working professionals, use social media a lot on weekends. And that's why whenever you're planning a strategy for any campaign, any event or any festival, always keep in mind that the best time to target that audience is during the weekend. So you need to be very very sure about how you plan your weekends in advance, because obviously you're not supposed to make your team work on weekends. So just plan everything in advance in terms of what is going to be trending, what is going to happen, what events are there on the weekend, and plan content accordingly. Other than that, I'm so sorry about the sounds. It's just as annoying to me as it is to you. So as of now, I have a team where we sit and discuss what needs to be done for the day. So we discuss the tasks for the day, the content plan for the day, and yeah, thank you. We sit and discuss in the team of what is the content plan for the day, what tasks need to be done in terms of distribution. What do we do? So we discuss usually this on our Slack channel. Slack is one platform which is used to, I'll just put a screenshot if you don't know what it is. It's very similar to any other platform that other companies use. Some companies use Slack, some companies use Microsoft Teams, some companies use Outlook or Skype. Like the first companies that I worked for used to use Outlook and Skype for their conversations. So yeah, it completely depends on what communication channel your company is using, and then we discuss the content plan. The team assigns the content plan. The content person that I have in my team assigns that to the designers. So we also have amazing, very hard working and talented designers in our team who work towards designing the content after it has been shared by my team, and then we work towards distributing it. So when it comes to distribution of content, I am so pissed right now, I can't even tell you. I don't understand why all the construction has to take place when I'm trying to record a video, even when I'm trying to work. It's just annoying. Anyway, so when we move towards distribution, over the last 4 or 5 years that I've worked, we've used different types of channels to distribute our content. For example, Facebook now has Meta Studio, but it used to have Creator Studio before. So I used to use Creator Studio while I used to work on distribution to schedule all the content for the brands that I was working with for Facebook and Instagram. Then, if you want to schedule across all platforms, Buffer is one platform that you can use. People also use HubSpot. HubSpot I've not really used. I've used Buffer. And there's another platform by the name Later. So I'll put all the links in the description for you to check out if you have to start working towards distribution, and if you want to learn more about how to distribute content and schedule content across a lot of platforms at once. You can use the platforms itself. You can actually schedule content directly from Twitter. It has its own dashboard. The only drawback is that you need to then, if you're using like each and every dashboard of the platform to schedule the content, it just becomes very tedious because you have to schedule content 4 to 5 times for each and every platform, which is very hectic. So try using Buffer, Later, or any platform that you think can schedule one post which has to go on all platforms at once. So yeah, in terms of distribution, these are the tools that I use, not just in this particular organization, but ever since I've started working, these are the platforms that I've mostly used to distribute the content. And I hope that helps. I'm done for a lot of work for today. I think I needed to talk about this more, so I'll probably talk about it now. So what I've noticed is, as a part of my job, I've realized this over the past few years that I worked, that it's very important to find the right target audience and to find the right strategy for what works for your brand. There's no one strategy that we can follow. I got a lot of questions asking how can we build a personal brand, and there's no one answer for this particular question that you have, or for any commercial brand that you have. You cannot just have one strategy which you can copy paste, whether that's for social media, whether that's for paid promotion, or any other aspect of digital marketing. So how I figure out what is the right strategy for the campaigns that I work on, or even the brands that I work with, is that I try to find the right target audience. In order to find the right target audience and to understand what kind of content works, you find an intersection of what is it that your brand has to offer. I'm so sorry about the messages on Slack. Yeah, so you find the right strategy by finding an intersection of what your brand can offer to the audience, what is the USP of your brand, and how do you want to position the brand. And by brand positioning, I mean how you want your target audience to remember you, how you want your audience to remember you in terms of the brand colors that you use, in terms of the motto that you have, or the taglines that you have, the communication, the brand communication that you have. That is one part of it. And again, the other part is what your target audience that you're that that is your potential audience that you're offering to wants to see. How I've learned this is I do a lot of research when I start working on any brand, especially for the brands that I work for from scratch. I try to study more of what similar brands in the field of digital marketing are doing compared to the brand that I have. So, mostly competitor analysis. Um, if you're a personal brand, then do more of analysis of what other creators are doing. But the worst thing to do is to actually copy and paste of what they're doing. It's always good to get inspired, but you need to do a lot of research in what is working, and you cannot copy paste what they're doing in terms of content. You can only understand what they're doing in terms of strategy. You can see how the social media platforms have evolved over time, over the last few years. Initially, Instagram was only about photos, not just only about photos, but photos. It evolved to Instagram stories, so more engagement towards stories and photos was taken care of. Then it moved to IGTV videos. So to understand the formats on the platform, what is working at that moment during 2020 and during the pandemic, IGTV and Instagram lives were working a lot. So using more of what format is working on that platform is the best way to optimize the numbers and finding the right target audience. And then eventually, of course, like right now, short format content is what is trending on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. A lot of people are willing to watch reels or videos less than 1.5 1 minute. So try to optimize on each and every platform of what is working, and then optimize it according to the format. Towards the end of the video, I have noted a lot of questions that you guys had shared with me in the comments, and I do read each and every comment, so I've noted all those questions and I'll be answering those towards the end of the video. You know, the best part about my job, I mean, I know I've blabbered a lot about work, but the best part about this job is that I get to work from home, and that's why I don't have to wake up and dress up and go to office. As much as I like going out, as much as I love my team, the team that I'm currently working with are very enthusiastic people. There's so much that I learn from the team. Considering I'm also one of the youngest people, there's so much to learn from each and every manager that I work with. And I haven't shared this earlier, but I want to share it right now. I worked for so many years. I started with, when I started in digital marketing, I think back in 2018, I started it from a very operational role because I was willing to learn and I was very curious to learn how everything and every aspect of digital marketing works. I wanted to try everything. I tried SEO. And I think when you're younger, I feel I'm still young, but when you're younger, when you're starting in a fresher role, you should opt for something that is that you should always try and work for startups rather than established companies. Why I say that is because when you work for a startup, the team is smaller, the resources are lesser, so you have to put in a lot of hard work. You have to wear a lot of hats in terms of the roles that you offer to them, and again you have to try to find right you have to do a lot of smart work in terms of making the most of what you already have, because the resources are lesser compared to any bigger company that you have. And that's why I started when I back in 2018 when I started, we used to only use Canva. We did not have any designers. I used to make the design for the ad. I used to launch the ad. I used to study the data. I used to also go to the founders, even at an executive role, go to the founders and read those numbers. And given that I have so much social anxiety and I have such low confidence, I've had low confidence in back in school and college, it was very hard for me to go out of my comfort zone and then presenting in front of the founders and other team members. It helped me gain confidence firstly. So working for a startup helped me gain confidence. It helped me gain a lot of knowledge in how different things work. Because even though I was hired as a digital marketing associate, I was working on ads, but I was also working on marketing shoots. I was also working entirely on product shoots. So I was learning. I remember back, I've mentioned Asta before, but like She was my manager back then, and she helped me also understand how product shoots take place. I was working in a food tech startup, so I was able to also get access to a lot of good food. But then, yeah, I understood how food photography takes place, how to take mood shots, how to take product shots, how to take marketing shots, how to use those shots by creating. Actually, I used to create banners sometimes for our ads and our website through just Canva, because I did not know of any other tool. So I had to learn Canva, and I had to learn how to optimize Canva. And that is something that I also suggest to anyone who's starting in this field. You may just get a diploma from any of the institutes, you may get a master's in marketing, digital marketing, any field that you want to pursue, and you may also have the degree from the best college. But as long as you do not go ahead and try this in terms of getting practical experience, whether just starting from a very small internship to actually going forward and applying for a full-time role, it is very important that you're curious to learn. If you're curious to learn, it's not just going to help you in your job that you will have at that moment, but it is going to help you in the longer run as well, if you ever want to start your own business. And that is very, very important. Since for me it has been about learning as much as I can and contributing as much as I can, now that I have energy and I'm younger than how young I would be in the future. I want to just learn as much as possible, and I think that's one trait that I have which has helped me get to where I am today and will eventually help me in the future as well. It's always be curious. Something I also resonated with when I joined Ankur's team. Ankur at this point also is very curious about what he wants to learn, and you can never learn enough. It's not just this field, but you can never learn enough in any field that you're working in or in life. You learn your hard lessons anyway. Not becoming emo, coming back to professional life. So please try and work towards that. Try and learn. So let's start by dividing this into 3 categories, and I'm just going to go give a small brief of what worked for me. This might or might not work for you, but at least to start with, if someone would have told me this would have been really, really helpful. So if you're just a student who's pursuing undergrad, try and going for internships with startups. Try going for roles like social media intern, SEO intern. Even if you don't know anything about SEO, just go on YouTube, try to study the basic terms. You don't even have to do any course. If you want to do, then there is a platform by Google itself, Learn Digital Garage. I don't know, I think I created one video 2-3 years ago, which I'll put somewhere here, which mentions everything about that tool. So you can go to that link and then go ahead and do free courses that they have. Gain some knowledge about fundamentals of digital marketing and what fields exist in this market. And if you want more details, just go to that video and you'll get the idea. And then apply for these roles in startups. Again, like I mentioned, social media internships, SEO internships. Today I know that at present a lot of startups also hire interns for paid promotion. So you can try and promise them that this is what you've learned from the resources that you have, whether that's learning from YouTube. Everything is present on YouTube. Learning from YouTube, or learning from Digital Garage, which is Google's own platform, or learning from the fellow seniors that you have who have worked in the same field professionally. You can tell them that these are the skills, and you're always willing to learn. One thing that a lot of companies do while hiring is not looking at your skill set, but they look at more of how much there is willingness in you to actually learn about what you're going to do. So you should definitely focus more on that, and be more eager to show them that even if you might not know how to work in this particular area, you will learn more about it, and you will keep contributing towards your learning and their growth. For someone who's passed out of college and wishing to apply for full-time roles, Try again the similar strategy that I've given for undergrads, but people who are pursuing undergraduation. But even if you just don't want to do that and want to go ahead with full-time roles, create a profile on LinkedIn. Try to do a few courses just to get your basics in place if you're just starting out, and try to again get, if not a full-time role, if try to get an internship which can convert into a full-time role if you really want to work for that brand or that product, and then try finding what role suits you the best in the team. Initially when you start as a fresher, you will have to work in different roles if you're willing to do that, and then you can go ahead and decide what works for you. A lot of startups now give, after 3 months of internships, they give a PPO, so that can work in your favor. So that's how you can go about starting your career as a full-time resource in a company. I think it's almost 4 p.m. I will get a few tasks done as well, and then I'll come back to you and answer the questions. I didn't want to make this more about what I eat and what when I drink my tea and what I eat. I think I've put that a lot in my Dukaan vlog. This particular video, I wanted it to be more technical and help you guys with your questions and the tools and everything that I use. So the next two parts of the video, I will share how I track numbers and how I strategize using those numbers. And after that, I will answer your questions and we'll finish the video. And then we'll come back to what other questions that you have in the comments down below. So I'll get back. Bye. Guys, now we're moving towards the end of the video. I'm going to conclude this video into two parts. First part is going to be about analyzing and tracking numbers and how data and numbers help you in your overall strategy for social media, since this is more about my role as a social media manager. And then I will take up questions related to everything about digital marketing that you've asked with me so far. And if you feel like I've missed out on any question, or if you still want more answers, please let me know in the comments and I would be happy to answer those questions. So discussing that it is very, very important to analyze and track numbers is very important. Why it is important is, every content piece that you generate drives different types of numbers and metrics. For example, if I have to talk about one platform, and you can study each and every platform in detail. So if you want me to talk more about each and every platform in detail individually, let me know in the comments and I would love to talk about that more in the upcoming videos. For example, if you're just studying Instagram, understanding reach, what reach means, what impressions mean when you're going through the numbers on your Instagram app or your desktop app, Meta Studio, anywhere where you're tracking numbers. It is very important to understand those metrics: reach, impressions, engagement, profile visits, website link clicks that you have, anything that you put in bio is where people click, and those eventually lead to website link clicks. So those numbers, then again understanding how each and every post, how each and every reel, or how each and every engagement story or Instagram story is working. You have to be very cautious of those numbers, and to understand those numbers, you have to track those numbers on a daily basis when you're working in this field. Also on a weekly basis, to understand how that the strategy that you came up with for the week has worked so far, and how these numbers help you to understand your overall strategy is, first to understand what worked, and you can do more of that, the same kind of strategy that you had in for this week, whatever things worked, you can replicate it in the next few weeks. And whatever has not worked, which is one of the most important parts of analyzing numbers, is whatever is not working needs to be scrapped off, and you need to start working on newer things. And if you're not tracking your data, no matter what you're doing in terms of content, it will be waste, because you don't know how your efforts are showing in terms of output on the platform. So that is very, very important to understand. Each and every dashboard has its own analytics platform. You can get all the data from there. There are other tools as well, but I've usually never used any other tool to track numbers except the dashboard that the platform provides, analytics dashboards that platforms provide, or having my own Excel reporting systems that I have. I don't use any other platform because that's how I like to work. Otherwise, there are a lot of other platforms to track numbers of all platforms at once. Now you can also try using those, but I would say just to have a raw idea of how things work, you should start by just going through the dashboards and having your own Excel reports to understand the numbers. Eventually, move on to different platforms. So yeah, that is when it comes to analyzing and tracking numbers. Then moving on to taking your questions, and once I'm done with your questions, I would be ending this video. If I'm able to create more content for more and more of you, once I've reached 10,000 subscribers, I will be going ahead and buying my first camera and a mic to make sure that these sound problems are fixed. I'm not saying I'm not going to invest because I have lesser subscribers. What I mean to say is, and this is what I've learned from other YouTubers as well, you shouldn't ever invest in YouTube unless you start making something out of it. I understand that I have a full-time job and I can put those resources into YouTube, but again, everyone has bills to pay, and that's why I'm not investing in YouTube at the moment. But I would love to do that because I love creating videos, and even if you are also starting YouTube, I would always advise that start by making content the king of your videos and not the tools or the tools that you're using for editing or recording videos, but the content should be the king. And eventually invest more of what you can in terms of anything that you want to invest, whether that's the mic, a video, a camera, a phone, editor, anything that you want, when it starts to pay off. So that's something that I personally feel. I would never monetize my mental health videos. That's something that is very, very, very personal to me. Something that I want more and more people to see because they have helped me in my personal journey, and I wish those videos can help you and people that you know of around you as well. So yeah, that's let's forget about that. We'll talk about that in some other video, but I'll just take your questions and then I'll be concluding the video. There was this one question. Can you give a rough idea of what an entry-level digital marketer can earn and how much they can expect after 5 years? So as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, it depends on what company you're working with. A lot of subjective factors are involved, but if you're just starting in a fresher role, according to the marketing standards that I know of, usually people start with somewhere around 2.75 LPA or 3 LPA to 3.54 LPA. I didn't start with this package. I started with much lesser, but this is something that people are getting at this point in terms of the fresher roles that they are applying for. So I hope that answers your question. When I started back in 2018, my salary was way lesser than what I shared here. Hey Vaishnavi, your videos are great, thank you. Had one question. Had one question. Will I get better job opportunities if I complete my graduation and then do digital marketing, or after completing MBA, like higher position or education does not matter? Okay, this is a very important question that I might have already answered, but I'll just share a brief answer here as well. And that's a very good question. MBA for me is something that helps you more in networking and exploring and getting exposure than actually what it has to do with the curriculum that you study. MBA is a very generic course which helps you to understand different areas: finance, marketing, HR, and then you can go ahead and choose whatever role that you fit in your job after MBA. So it is not something that I considered for myself. I did a specialization course in digital marketing which helped me more in my job. But if you think MBA is for you, you should go ahead and pursue MBA. MBA will definitely help you for meeting people who have already been working in the field, learning more from them practically. So that is an advantage of MBA. So I feel it's not mandatory. If you want to start in this field, you can start without pursuing an MBA. I hope that answers your question. Okay, I want to switch from BPO to digital marketing. How many hours do you work each day? Okay, that's a very good question. In this field of digital marketing, where people are consuming content throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout the month, there's no fixed number of hours that you put in. But if you're good at time management and if you make sure you and your team are able to have a good work life balance, not on all days, but on most days, then on an average I work about 8 to 10 hours. That also depends on an individual of how much time they can put in a day and how much time they have to dedicate to their work. Again, the speed at which they work, everyone has their own pace at which they work. So if you're working in a team, you have to make sure everyone's working on a similar pace so that nobody has to work post the business hours. But there are a lot of events and campaigns that demand that. It is possible for you to switch from BPO to digital marketing. Digital marketing is a very skill-based field more than a degree-based field, so it's very easy to move in and switch from any other field to this field. And I hope that answers your question. Hi, I've actually done my 12th and now thinking to get a diploma in digital marketing. So, will I get a good job? Okay. Diplomas, I feel it depends on where you're getting it from. There are a lot of institutes for that. If you feel that is something that is going to help you in getting a good job, definitely go in and do that. But in addition to that, try again, I already mentioned it in the video, try applying for roles for internships while you're pursuing the diploma so that you have practical experience to put in your CV while you're sitting for an interview, because that gives you an advantage over and above everyone else who's applying for the same role, because you know how to work on those tools. Or even if you don't know how to work on those tools, it helps you in understanding how to start and where to start from. So whether you're pursuing a diploma or any other degree, please try and work practically on these technical skills and pick up those skills and try to learn more of those tools. And again, the course that I talked about, I'll mention it in the description box so you can check that out. I hope Google was sponsoring me for that, maybe someday. But I hope that answers your question. This is again another question is diploma or MBA, which is better for digital marketing? I've already answered that question, so you can go back to I think 1 minute before and check the answer for that. This is probably the last question I'm going to take and then we'll end the video. Hey Vaishnavi, I tried to connect with you on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm also on Twitter on Instagram. So thank you for trying to connect with me there. I may or may not have replied to your DMs. I'm not sure if I have. I'm so sorry about that if I haven't, because again, I don't have a lot of followers, but I have a lot of work and I'm working on weekdays, and weekends are more about staying away from devices, and I try to stay away from devices mostly on weekends, so I don't go through a lot of DMs. And comments and all on social media. I try to stay away from social media on weekends as much as I can to protect my mental health. So I'm so sorry if I didn't reply to you. The question is, I just want to know, how can a non-tech programmer or digital marketing with no experience at hand or an internship get a job like this? Honestly, to start with is to start from scratch. So even if you are from a non-technical background, it is very easy to now develop websites, work on UI, UX, technical SEO, because you can learn about it, and also because a lot of tools are now available which help you make websites and make apps without coding. So I hope, I mean, that's not a part of the question, but that's something that I've also learned, and that's something I wanted to put out. Without this as well, without no experience, you start with learning very basics about marketing, basics about digital marketing, anything that you start with, whether that's maths also. You start with learning the basic theorems, and then you go ahead and practice questions and apply that in your life. Same goes for digital marketing. Learn the very basics of marketing, learn the very basics of digital marketing, and then try your hands on free tools that are available. Learn more about them. Even if you don't have access to them, learn more about them on YouTube. Make notes, ask a lot of questions. You have LinkedIn, reach out to as many people as you can, connect with people who are already in this industry, learn from them. People are always willing to help. I remember when I was young, I did not reach out to a lot of people, and I learned like if I would have, I would have more answers to the questions or doubts that I had. So reach out to people who are already in the industry. Ask as many questions as you want. I can put my LinkedIn over here, and you can reach out to me, and I'll try my best to help you in every way possible. And just learn, and eventually, whether that's learning through people or learning through tools, you will eventually get it. Trust me, if I can do it, being the person with the lowest self-esteem and lowest confidence, then you can definitely do it. So that's about it for this video, I guess. I'm sure like this is a long video, but I just wanted to cover each and everything that was possible in the video because I had so many questions for so long. I will end this video now. I hope you find this helpful, and let me know anything that I might have missed out, and I would love to create more such videos around that. I'll be working towards making the sound and the video quality better in the future, and I hope you start pursuing your dream career now, and ask for help other people, and grow together. That's all I want from this community, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Ow! Ooh! Why do I do this to myself?